Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB The Show 21. So in last episode we had the draft, and we had actually a really good draft again in this second season. As you can see, with our first pick, which was second overall, we took Hara, who's a 69 left fielder, 95 potential, and I think this guy looks like he's going to be very good. Right now his hitting stats aren't great, but he can work on those and they will get better. But right now his fielding and his stealing, his speed and stuff like that are already pretty good. So I'm very excited to see how this guy is once he gets to the MLB in the next few years, but very excited for him. We also decided to draft Michael Castillo, who had a decent overall out of the gate, but not a great potential. He could still become something okay, I guess you could say, like maybe a AAA player, or maybe even a bench option, kind of like for a reliever if we want to use him as a reliever instead of a starting pitcher. There's also this huge steal that we got in David Jordan, who's a 69 overall 20-year-old starting pitcher prospect that has 90 potential. He's going to be probably pretty good as well to add to our mix with guys like Chauncey Mckelroy, Casey Mize, Tarek Skubal, that type of thing. This one pick, Jonathan Johnson, was a complete whiff. It was a random shot in the dark, and this guy has a decent overall, I would say, as well, but he doesn't have the potential, so he's probably just going to end up being like a AA player maybe for the rest of his career, who knows. And George Veras is a little bit of a project, but he does have 75 potential, which is okay, kind of like a depth option for right field. And then this was a pretty good steal in Chad Hirsch, who is a 65 overall catcher and 84 potential, which means he's probably going to become either our number 1 or number 2 prospect for our catching position, because we also got Jackson Reid, who we acquired in a trade last season. And we also decided to draft Luis Gutierrez, who we're not going to give a contract to because he's not going to become anything at all, and his starting overall is pretty bad too. So yeah, that was our draft, and it was a pretty great one, I would say, for our prospect pool. And yeah, so one thing I want to show you guys before we actually start simulating probably the rest of the regular season is the depth chart. So it doesn't update though right after the draft, unfortunately, but if we go to the future to 2026, this is what our team could potentially look like. So our starting pitcher wise, we could have like Matt Manning as our starter. Mckelroy would be up to an 80, which is pretty crazy. And then he would be ahead of Casey Mize, Wentz, Skubal, and Garrett Hill, but that still looks like a pretty decent starting pitcher rotation, I would say, at that point. Obviously adding, Jordan to that mix. Our starting pitcher prospects are pretty good, I would say. And then Luis Garcia, who we traded for, could be our number 1 shortstop at that point. We got also some decent outfielders, not necessarily a great outfield pool yet. We could probably use some more right fielders, just because Riley Green and Bryant Packard are probably our best 2 options for outfield. And then we got Vidal Brujan, who's going to become potentially a second baseman for us. Fernando Valdez is our first baseman. Jackson Reed maybe as our catcher. And then Brock Deathridge there. And so on. So I think our prospect pool is coming together pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, let's simulate the rest of this regular season, just because I kind of want to do maybe seasons in 2 to 3 parts. So like one episode is the draft, the next episode is simming the rest of the season, and then the next episode is a complete off season, and etc. like that. I don't know if I'm going to be making much trades in this series, just because the fact, like, I don't think we really need to. We could just keep building up via the draft if we want to, and yeah, that type of thing. So anyways, let's start simulating a little bit more and sim to All-Star Week. We are going to be probably a pretty bad team, but that doesn't really matter because we are probably tanking for a good pick, I guess you could say, again next year. So yeah, hopefully this team just continues to lose games, and hopefully we don't finish ahead of the Pirates again, because last year we finished ahead of the Pirates, which was really surprising. So the Pirates had first overall. So okay, so we are nearly at the All-Star break. So here we are at the All-Star break, and all of a sudden we're 34-55. So actually we're playing pretty good all of a sudden. I wouldn't say pretty good. I would say we're playing almost back to being not the worst in our division, which is actually kind of surprising. Let me just take a quick look at how Chauncey's been doing in Double-A. He's been killing it in Double-A, and he's up to a 70 overall. I decided to demote him from Triple-A to Double-A The main reason is just because he wasn't playing good in AAA, and I want him to get his best growth as possible. And he is playing really good in AA. 4-0 with a 2.76 ERA and a 1.10 WHIP. So he's playing really good, and yeah, he might be on the MLB team almost in the next few years. Unless we get like a lot of growth from like Matt Manning and stuff like that. Casey Mize is only a 71 still, but he's been playing pretty good in AAA because we decided to mote him there last episode. What else do we got to keep an eye out on for prospects? Renato Nunez isn't a prospect. Fernando Valdez is hitting at 240. He's got 14 home runs in AAA. He does actually have really good power, so he might be one of those guys that have a low overall, but could hit a lot of dingers for us in the future. What else we got here? Edwardo Cortez is another prospect. He's not been very good in AAA. I could always demote him down to double, but I don't think I'm going to do that. What else we got here for prospects? I don't remember even all the prospects we drafted. Oh yeah, there was Corona, who's our closing pitcher. I forgot about that. I'll check that. And I think we had a couple other starters, didn't we, that we drafted? Yeah, Gerald Martin is playing in single A, so it doesn't keep track of his stats. I could move him up to double as well over Bruner, which I think I'm going to do that. So we're going to move Gerald Martin to double A. That way actually he gets some time, and we will move this dude down to single A. Relief pitcher wise, we do have Dylan File, who we traded for. Okay. What about closing pitchers? How is Corona doing in triple? He's doing pretty horrible. I think I will demote him down to double A as well. And then we'll move this dude to triple. Just because I wanted these guys to get as much development as possible. So we'll put Corona down to double A and see if he could play better down there with like Chauncey Mckelroy and whatnot. So that is then a little bit of an update on the player stats. We are at the All-Star game, so we will take a look at the All-Star game and see if there's anybody that made it for us, which I don't think there would be. I don't know how we could actually check that, but let's go to the home run derby stuff for a second. So we don't have anybody in the home run derby, which makes sense because we're not a good team yet. So we'll just sim through that. Is there a way though to check who's in the All-Star game? Oh, I simmed it accidentally, I think. Yeah, I did. Oh well. I don't even know if there's a way to check who's in that game. We probably didn't really have much players there anyways, but anyways, let's continue to sim. Let's sim to the trade deadline prep. I don't know if we're going to make trades, like I said, but because I would rather just trust in like the draft to an extent and all those prospects that we traded for in year one. Let's go here for a sec, get rid of these notifications because they pop up too much. Okay, and trades, view trade block. So these guys are on the trading block. I don't think we want to obviously trade for anybody too good if we were going to trade, but I don't think we're going to. There is some kind of prospects, I guess you could say, but most of them are 27 and older. So yeah, it doesn't really make sense for us to trade anybody. Let's go back to here. Injured list. Looks like somebody was injured. It was Lange, okay, or Lang. I don't know how it's pronounced. Let's take a look again at Chauncey Mckelroy, just because I wanted to take a look at her. Wow, okay, Chauncey's killing it in double A. I'm glad I demoted him into an extent because he's 6-0 now with a 2.6 ERA and a 10.09 WHIP, which is really good to see. Nice, I like that a lot. How about Corona? Has Corona played better since being demoted? Yep, he has. That's good. How about, who was it? Fernando Valdez hitting a 237. Not a really great batting average, I would say, but he's got the homers. He's got some RBIs. So that's pretty good. And then Edwardo Cortez is still struggling. I could always demote him. And then call up Clemens to triple. Interesting. Bryant Packard's playing really good in AAA, so he's gone the uprise, which is a good thing. I don't think the depth chart updates in the season. I think it'll update us for next year, though, right? Yeah, it doesn't update us till next year because I'm kind of still curious on how Gary Hara fits into this and all that. Looks like Fernando Valdez actually plays outfield as well. You know, he also plays first base, which is kind of cool because if we want to, we could use him as a fielding option. Interesting. Okay, we got contract extensions to hand out. The most fun time of the year, not really, but let's go through this. So, Aoki, we will sign you to a 2-year deal because I want to get you down to as low as possible for now. Because we're not signing anybody too long-term right now, unless it's one of those young guys that I draft. So 250K, that sounds good. Reyes, we will give you also. Reyes is 27, and he is our best center fielding player right now. I'll give him a 2-year deal, I would say, and then talk him down to like, I guess it would be like 7 something or for the 2 years. Yeah, we could probably give him like 6.4, a little bit more, I guess. 6.6. There you go. We also got Niko Gundrum, shortstop. We don't really have any shortstop prospects, so I think I could sign him back, but he does want a decent amount of money. But he is playing pretty good. He only has 1 home run, but he's got a 282 average. But he is 30 years old. I think I'll give him a 1-year deal just because I don't think we got a shortstop that could come in and replace him yet. He's looking for a longer contract, so yeah, I don't know if we're going to give Niko Gundrum a contract. Wilson Ramos, we're also just going to let go for now, maybe. He wants more than 1 year. Yeah, I think a lot of these guys we might just let go of. Montez will give a contract to. He could actually be our shortstop to replace Gundrum for now. We'll give him a 2-year deal just so we can get him as cheap as possible, because we want to make sure we have a decent amount of money still, just in case we want to do anything free agent wise. Jackson Reed's going to get a contract. He could actually be our starting catcher next year because Wilson Ramos is not coming back, I think. Nomar Mazara we could bring back for 1 year, but he does want like $5 million plus for multiple years. I wonder if he would accept a 1-year deal at 4.5. No, it doesn't seem like he would. I could try and talk him to like 5 mil for 1 year. I don't want to give him a multiple year deal really, but he's only 26, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I guess we could just give him a multiple year deal for now. 2 years at 10. 10.3, there you go. A little bit of an expensive contract, but I think that makes sense. We'll just get Jimenez back on a 1-year deal at 2 mil. He wants a longer contract. I might not bring back Jimenez. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bring back Jimenez. A lot of these guys are just going to be let go of, I think, and then we'll just sign some other players in free agency in the offseason or something. He wants a longer contract as well. Jeez. It seems like everybody wants a long contract, but except for the young guys. So I think we'll probably let go of a lot of the veterans. I don't know if even Cesarno wants to come back for 1 year. He looks like he wants a longer contract as well. My God. That's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Harold Castro, 1 year, and we'll talk you down to like 1.3. He wants a longer contract as well. I guess a lot of these guys are going to be let go of just because they want multiple years. Grayson Grenier, 29 years old. Is he that worth bringing back? Probably not. 1 year and 960K though, I guess is okay. Or 890, he wants a longer contract as well. My God, everybody wants a long contract here. That's okay, I guess, because it means we could do some youth movement stuff. Looks like Terrain's dropping off a lot, so I don't think I'm going to bring him back. Drew Waters is a young guy, so we're going to sign him. And then Buck Farmer's 31. I don't necessarily need to bring him back. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So all these guys I think are going to be probably dropped in the offseason. We could still sign them in the offseason in the before free agency hits, but I don't know if we're going to bring them back. If you guys think we should, let me know. So there we go. And yeah, let's sim to those contract extensions, get more of the season done. I think we'll probably just get the rest of the year done, our regular season done. That way we could get to the off-season in the next episode and then the draft again and just keep on building up on this team. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be making any trades unless I was to trade away somebody that's more of a veteran that we don't need anymore. Willie Castro is injured, my God. We could always trade away Spencer Turnbull, but at the same time, I don't think it is necessary. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. How's Chauncey doing now? He's 6-1. Looks like he had a rough one game, but that's okay. Let's continue to simulate. I don't think we're going to make trades. Yeah, we're not going to make trades. We're just going to continue to build up this team via the draft and maybe the offseason as well. So we'll just go auto-fix lineups. And we will... Where are we in the standings? 37-61. We actually have the 26th rank, so we are actually getting a little bit better, looks like, in terms of ranking as the season progresses. Currently, though, in the league, we are probably one of the worst. We are better than the Rangers, and we are also right there with the Mariners, so we aren't the worst team in the entire AL, I think. Yeah, we aren't the worst team in the entire AL. That's a nice thing, I guess. Even though technically that ruins our draft chances. Or not, our chance at first overall, I should say. We still might make the better choice. Who knows? Yeah, the Rangers are not doing good this year. And then in the NL, the worst team in the NL is the Rockies at 36-65. So we actually aren't near the bottom. We might have like a top 3 pick, but not first overall. Damn, that Castro injury was a long time one. Fractured arm for 2 to 3 months. Yikes. Wait, Willie Castro's only 24. Did I even take a look at his contract? Oh no, I did get him back. Okay. I was thinking of Harold Castro, not Willie. Jesus, when there's 2 Castros, it's like hard to keep track of who's who. Let me take a look at Corona, who has been really good since being demoted to double. That's good. And then Fernando Valdez is still getting some homers. His average is still okay, but his home runs is pretty good. Let's see. Edwardo Cortez is hitting a 381. That's pretty good now. I think he got demoted to double, which is good. Interesting. We are getting some good production, it looks like, from our young guys. So let's continue to sim to those September call-ups. And we will go auto-fix lineups again. But yeah, it looks like we aren't going to be the worst team in the league this year. And we are now 50-77. Damn, we could still catch the Indians technically and pass them, but I don't think that's going to happen. Interesting. What do we got here? Injured list. Nick Ames was injured. Morrow was injured. Vidal Brujan was injured. That's not good. Candelario was injured. Yeah, Brujan fractured his leg, but he's going to be back soon. Willie Castro is still out with his fractured arm. Damn, everybody getting fractured, it seems like. How are we looking in terms of our young guys again? Chauncey Mckelroy has jumped up to a 72. My God. This guy is a nuts player. 10-2, 2.99 ERA, and a 1.13 whip. So he could technically be... We probably will play him in AAA for sure next year. We might have to find a veteran to play in the MLB because it might try and give Chauncey some time in the MLB already. But since he's only 18, I would rather him play probably in AAA. Looks like Casey Mize is still struggling though in triple. Interesting. Corona is still playing pretty decent, not great I would say, considering, yeah, he's not great as a closer right now. What else we got here? Valdez is up to 23 homers and 72 RBIs. Yeah, Fernando Valdez might be on our roster next season. We might give him the shot. I don't know. But we do have Nunez signed, I think, for next year, right? Or do we not? Yeah, we do have him signed for the next few years. Brujan's injured, but he was hitting a 405. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Anything else interesting? Doesn't look like it. Let's continue to simulate and get the rest of this regular season done with. And we will go auto-fix 28-man roster and auto-fix rotation. But yeah, this team is playing way better than I kind of expected to an extent. Like, I expected us to be a little bit worse. We're winning a lot of games in this last, like, few months. And no, I do not want to look at the playoffs in there. Let's get the last of this done. And we are going to finish the season 70-92, which is a big step up, I think, of last year. Because last year we had over 100 losses, if I'm not mistaken. So let's take a look at our player stats. It looks like it got rid of already the AAA stats, which is kind of annoying. But let's take a look at our MLB player stats. So Spencer Turnbull was not that bad, I would say, for a bad team. His whip is a little high, but he had a pretty good ERA. I don't know if he's one of these guys that stay around with his team for a while, but he's only 29. Wentz was not great, but he is developing, which is a good news. Manning is also developing well. And it looks like Casey Mize picked it up since being brought back up to the MLB. He was actually 7-0. What the heck? Jeez. Okay, so it looks like Casey Mize has entered the chat as being a one of our starters probably next season, even though he's only at 73. And yeah, it looks like Chauncey got promoted back to triple. But we can't take a look at their stats, it looks like. Interesting. Relief pitcher wise, I don't think we had any relief pitcher prospects, but there you go. Kind of interested on Corona again. Corona looks like he played a bit of a playoff game and he played pretty decent. Catcher prospects, there you go. First baseman, I don't know how much. I wish I would keep track of the stats for AAA and not just show them for 1 year. Because I kind of want to know how much Valdez had for home runs, but Valdez probably will be in the MLB next season, I would assume. You know, we could always play Colvin in AAA meanwhile. Well, we are getting some decent stats, it looks like, across the board. Yeah, better than I expected this season, I think. Let's take a look at how those standings finished. So we finished actually tied with the Indians for the worst in our division. So yeah, we definitely improved a lot, which I don't understand how we did because we allowed a lot of runs. So that's good. Let's take a look actually at the entire AL. So yeah, we weren't even close to the bottom of the AL. So we're going to have to start probably not drafting blue chip prospects this year's draft already. But I think that's okay because we do got a lot of good young guys already in our system. It just means drafting is going to be a little bit tougher. And in NL wise, who was the worst player, our team in the NL? It was the Diamondbacks. Yeah, we weren't even close to the worst team in the league this year. Let's take a look at statistics, team rankings. So in terms of batting average, where were we? We were actually up there in batting average. We were 12th best in batting average. That's kind of surprising. Looks like Renato Nunez was our best player. Same with Brujan for that little bit. And Jackson Reitz. At bats, doesn't really matter. Runs. Where were we in runs? Not very good. So we were good at getting on base, but not getting in those runs. Which makes sense. Hits wise, we were tied for 10th in hits. Wow. Doubles, we were 10th. We're actually a decent, looks like, contact kind of like hitting team. Tied for 7th in triples, so we got good speed too. But then homers were probably near the bottom, right? Wait, let's see, where were we? Yeah, we were tied for 29th in homers. So we do got a lot of contact, but we don't got the power still. Which is something that hopefully we could get in like a draft or something. And then we were also... Were we one of the worst in RBIs? Yeah, we were one of the worst in RBIs. Stolen base wise, I don't think we'd be pretty good. Actually, we were one of the best. Tied for 5th. And then tied for 3rd in caught stealing. That makes sense. Stolen base percentage. We had the best stolen base percentage by far. With a 739 as opposed to the 702 that San Diego had. Base on balls, that doesn't really matter. Strikeout wise. Where are we? Down there at 26. Interesting. I think this team really overperformed to an extent. Like, I didn't expect us to be this good at some of our stuff. ERA wise, we were probably one of the worst though, right? No, we weren't the worst in ERA. We were 21st, so we definitely need to get that pitching a little bit better. But it will come in time with our young development, I would say. And then the rest of the stuff doesn't matter too much. Okay. Let's take a look at the league leaders for the season in the AL, because we are in the AL. So Anthony Rendon had the best batting average. Okay. Any of our players close to the top? That's more what I'm interested about. I don't think so, because I didn't get any notifications that we actually finished first in anything. We'll also take a look at the awards for the regular season. But yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't see anything for us, I don't think. Let's take a look at that injured list quickly. Okay, Cortez got injured for a bit, it looks like. Okay, so now let's sim to the off season just so we can already see who wins. Well, then we'll actually take a look at the awards then. So the White Sox are the World Series champions as they defeat the Mets. That's an interesting one. In real life, is the White Sox that close to winning a World Series? I don't know. But there's the final playoff bracket in case you guys wanted to see. Let's take a look at those awards for this year. So Tim Anderson's going to win the World Series MVP. Interesting. Most valuable player in the AL was Bregman. There's the NL, Michael Conforto. Cy Young going to Corey Kluber in the AL and Jacob deGrom in the NL. Batting title goes to Rendon and Will Smith. Reliever of the year goes to Ryan Presley. And there wasn't a reliever of the year in the NL? Or is there only in one, or for the entire league? Must be for both leagues. I don't know. AL Rookie of the Year was Forrest Whitley. NL Rookie of the Year was Casey Golden. Hank Aaron Award going to Mike Trout and Will Smith. Let's see, the Golden Glove for pitchers going to Griffin Canning and Jake Odorizzi. Golden Glove for catchers, Austin Nola and Jorge Alfaro. First baseman wise, Ken Grubb and Matt Olson. Second baseman wise, Adam Frazier, Ozzie Albies. Third baseman wise, Matt Chapman and David Bote, I don't know how it's pronounced. Shortstop wise, oh my god, that's a name, Alberto Mondesi. Dansby Swanson there. Left fielding wise, Eddie Rosario, Jesse Winkler. Luis Robert for center fielders and Cody Bellinger. Right fielding wise, Aaron Judge and Mookie Betts. And then Silver Slugger, DH, Yordan Alvarez, Max Fried. Catcher wise, Grandel and Smith. First baseman wise, Voit and Alonso. Second baseman wise, Torres and Hira. Third baseman wise, Bregman and Arenado. Shortstop wise, Bogarts and Story. And then outfield wise, it's Mike Trout and Michael Conforto. And then also Arizarani, I don't know how to pronounce it, Randy, we'll just say, and Ozuna. And then Jorge Soler and Ronald Acuna Jr. And then there's the postseason MVP, Tim Anderson. Interesting. Okay, so let's continue to simulate just for a little tiny bit longer. This episode is a little bit long. But here we are with the off-season stuff. We got some retirements. So we did just lose Miguel Cabrera, which is actually kind of nice because he was still getting paid, I think. Or maybe no, he wasn't. But Miggy retires. So that is good in a sense, as well as Jeff Samardiza, who I assigned as a depth pickup, but didn't really do anything for us. And there's some of the other retirements in case you guys wanted to take a look at this. But Miggy is the big one to retire, and he's going to get into the Hall of Fame, I think, for sure in this. Because he normally does. Yeah, him and Albert Pujols. It's pretty nice. And here is the stuff for next episode that we will be doing. So exclusive free agent signings, we could always qualify these three guys if you guys think they are necessary, but we don't have to bring them back. We do have a lot of budget to work with. And then, yeah, that's pretty much that. I don't know if I could take a look at the updated depth chart. Did it update our depth chart at all? Yeah, it did. Okay, so if we look at our updated depth chart within the next few years, Gary Hara could grow up to an 87, but like in the next few years, if we want to look already forward to like kind of like our next draft in a sense too, we are pretty built in terms of every position for prospects, I'd say. Like Fernando Valdez could end up growing to an 87. It says like we could probably use a little bit more shortstop depth and first baseman depth, maybe second baseman depth, but our team is actually coming together pretty good, I'd say, for the future. So just in case you guys wanted to take a look at the depth chart ahead of time, because maybe we need to address one of these positions in free agency, and maybe we don't. But I kind of like that it says Gary Hara is going to be an 87 by 2027. He'll be probably a really good left fielding player by then. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So in next episode, we will do the entire offseason, and then we will take a look at what our roster looks like for the start of year number 3. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.